This series is all about innovation and cutting-edge design. Traveling far and wide across America, we showcase some of the country's best and brightest innovations and talk to their leading designers to uncover the incredible stories behind them. Welcome to America by Design Innovations. America is at the forefront of world design, and our ByDesign team of industry experts have selected some of the most cutting-edge design innovations from across the country.
Everything around us is designed, but everything around us will be disposed of one day.
What is important in the future, in my eyes, is to stick on the field of sustainability and to minimize waste and pollution in the process of manufacturing.
Let's get started with our first project.
This product is very exciting. The Coca-Cola Freestyle builds upon the history of serving Coke when it was syrup mixed with carbonated water.
Well, I love the idea of the Freestyle machine that it saves on material, it saves on bottles. Coca-Cola is a big beverage company, so just on the sheer scale, they can save and make a big impact on the planet.
Hey Mike, welcome back.
I had to come back.
Yes.
I mean, this place is like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And this is cool.
Yeah, do you like it? It's like a fountain that welcomes people. Say hello, there's a Coca-Cola bottle, a Coca-Cola logo. It's pretty cool.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah, and last time you were here, we're talking very much about packaging and sustainability, right? I would love to show to you another work stream that is about delivering beverages to people without any packaging, basically.
Whoa, back up. What do you mean? I don't get it. No packaging at all.
Yeah, imagine that you grab a reusable cup and you put down here and you drink from it.
From a river of Coca-Cola. So Rafa, when you think of Coca-Cola, you think of the bottle, but there was a big story before that, wasn't there?
Yeah, in fact, we used to deliver Coca-Cola to consumers in this type of equipment, right? So that we deliver the syrup, pour the syrup, then add water, carbonation, then serve Coke to people. Right, Sarah?
That's right. There's also a little bit of human error involved in that one. It was not the best way to deliver the perfect pour every time.
No, not an exact science.
No,
Yeah.
so in order to get the perfect pour every time, we had to move on with technology and get more into machine-based dispensing.
Okay, so fast forward from 1896 to 1947.
Yeah. And here, this one I think was exciting is that a partnership with Raymond Loewy, right? So the father of industrial design in the US, right? So he designed this cool looking red element, right? So bringing all the cues of the brand really
I love it.
in the actual shape. And then you can pour here, right?
Exactly. So with only one pull of the lever, you can have the syrup and the ice cold soda water come down at the same time, and again, achieve that perfect pour through just one simple tap.
And tell me, is that the same Coca-Cola in 1947 that we're drinking today?
Yeah, it is.
Now I want to get onto my roller skates and
Yes.
roll up to this.
So this one's my favorite probably. It's from 1960, and it's from a female industrial designer named Claire Hodgman.
Oh wow, in the early 60s.
I love that. And I also
fantastic.
love that it really does look like she took a fender off of a 1960s car and turned it into a dispenser. I just love the lines. The chrome is absolutely beautiful. And then we also get into multiple different flavors and different brands, right? So we've got Coca-Cola, but we've also got other options. People were used to having wide variety from the early soda fountain days. And so we were trying to get back into that of having more options out of the same machine.
So Damien, you and your team devised this. This is the here and now.
Yeah, this is the flagship of the Freestyle fleet. We've put these buttons in these clusters to make it as simple and easy and intuitive to find the drink you want. So if you're looking for a Coke, which a lot of people are, right in the middle, and then you've got all those flavors, all those options.
So this is a Sprite new limited edition drinks, right? So you can see that you created like lemonade, strawberry, lemonade, peach.
All right, well I'll just try lemonade peach. That sounds a bit of fun. Look at that.
Check it out. And we can do these promotions whenever we like with specific customers for movie releases, because all these recipes come over the air. These are digital drinks.
So somebody doesn't need to come out in a truck when there's a campaign to 52,000 machines.
It all happens online. This is an internet-connected device.
We can update the graphics and also update the drinks, right, with the ingredients that are already inside the machine.
And voila, you have a new beverage brand that never existed before, rolled out to 52,000 dispensers. This is at the heart of the Freestyle technology. This is a smart pack. And in here is enough to make 200 PT bottles of Coke.
Whoa, 200 Cokes out of that box.
Yeah, absolutely. We use these ingredients. They're concentrated down to 150 to 1. So one part of this, you add 150 parts of water to get your drink. So you think about the savings in packaging, transportation, the amount of water that you need to transport around the roads is all concentrated into this little guy.
That's outrageous. Where does that go?
Yeah, let me show you.
Oh, hello.
So in here we've got about 25 of these cartridges, all different ingredients, different flavors, different brands. And it's the way that you mix those together that gives you 100 or more drinks. It uses AI to figure out not only how full the cartridges are, but how many days or hours you have left to pour.
Now, what's this QR code all about up here?
Well, because this is an internet connected device, you can drive it with your phone.
Oh, and I can just pour here. Yeah, I've got my cup.
Voila.
That is magic. That is amazing. So the savings on packaging, but actually the whole carbon footprint, I guess, with, you know, trucks on roads and so on, that whole thing has been bypassed with this.
Yeah, because you saw the cartridge, how compact it is, right? So you're not transporting water anymore, right? So it's only the ingredients.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like to think of this as coming full circle from Jacob's Pharmacy with that urn and having that syrup in there. We've made that syrup super high tech, and we've brought that whole concept to the 21st century.
A whole lot smarter.
Yeah.
53,000 units across 17 countries. That's a great start. But imagine 200 countries and in places like supermarkets and people's homes. Add to that reusable cups, and you've got impactful change.
One of the things I love about ByDesign is that we are able to ride shotgun with really innovative companies. And we see year after year how companies like Siemens continue to innovate in remarkable ways.
This iteration of this machine has a smaller footprint, so it can be used in all kinds of different communities.
But what I love about this, it really is transcending and setting a future pathway for diagnostic testing, really enhancing both productivity and patient care.
When you or a loved one are awaiting medical test results, getting answers quickly is your highest priority. Siemens Healthineers are addressing the complex and time-consuming process of diagnostic testing by introducing a device that's both simple and compact. Denise, this looks familiar. Have we seen this before?
Yes, this is the Atellica Solution. This was featured in season 2 of ByDesign.
So this is the Atellica Solution from Siemens Healthineers. This analyzes blood glucose, your blood cholesterol, in addition to testing things such as HIV, pregnancy, cardiac conditions.
Wow, this machine does everything.
But today, I want to show you our latest innovation in the Atellica Solution family. So come on, let's take a look. So this is the Atellica CI 1900 system. The C stands for chemistry for such tests as glucose and cholesterol, and the I stands for immunoassay to do such disease states as cardiac and cancer testing, for example.
So what's the benefit of the smaller footprint?
Not every lab is of the same dimension or size, all right? They have different needs, and we wanted to do two things. We wanted to accommodate those smaller labs that are more located in the rural settings, but offer the same power that the Atellica Solution does. And the second thing is that it has to be standardized to each other, because sometimes, well, about 70% of the hospitals in the US are network labs, so they share staff. And that would enable them to move from the Atellica Solution to the CI 1900.
So the Atellica Solution is sort of like the SUV, and this is like the sporty sports car.
Right, this is just 1.9 meters squared. So what we have here, this is our dashboard, and this will allow anybody with any skill level really to operate it. And you really see that it's composed just like a cell phone, if you will, so that you can put what's most important on the first page and then what's less important to subsequent pages.
Oh, so even my son, who steals my cell phone and uses it all the time, he could manage it.
Absolutely. And then the next thing I wanted to show you is our navigation button. You can come here and go anywhere in the system.
And these are the same across all of the different devices.
Exactly. So I can operate the Atellica Solution and come over here and operate the CI 1900, and it's the same exact software.
Well, Scott, congratulations. I heard that you won a Gold German Design Award.
We did, thank you. And we're very flattered by that. It's great to get recognition from the design community. But you know, I have to say, for us, a lot of people think of design competitions as kind of beauty contests. But I think for us, it's not really about the expression of an individual designer. It's really about considering all the people that have to interact with the system, all the things they need to accomplish, pulling all that together and coming up with a solution that best balances all of those needs.
Well, that's a lot to consider.
It's a lot, and it also has to look good.
Of course. You would never think that this was all happening underneath the hood.
I think that means we did our job well. You know, our job is to simplify this as much as possible. You know, all of these mechanisms have very specialized purposes, and we can't just put them anywhere. We really try to cover as much of this as we can just to keep it simple for the people that need to interact with it. But in general, we're always trying to make things as simple as we can and let people do the things they need to do so the lab tech in the field can do their jobs well.
I was a medical laboratory scientist working in a hospital, and the less time I had to spend doing repetitive and tedious things with the analyzer, the more time I actually got to devote to patient care.
Well, you must have amazing points of reference to help the engineers improve the whole device.
Yes, I was able to provide a lot of end user perspective in the development of this product. The system is so great. It's so automated and tells me exactly what it needs when it needs it.
So it sounds like a good communicator.
It's my favorite coworker.
RESEAT is an amazing company because they really are concerned with life cycle.
Here we're seeing an emerging trend, which you see actually in architecture quite a lot, which is not designing, not remaking, but just finding new ways to use stuff.
We have more than enough inventory sitting around in warehouses all over the world that we actually could stop manufacturing for the next 30 years probably, and the world could just continue as is, and actually we would save the planet.
This story starts with a huge tech company who were tenants in 2 office buildings here in the Bay Area. And then COVID hit and they vacated those buildings, but they left something behind. So, Eric, Brandy, the question is, what did they leave behind?
Well, Mike, they left behind 8 floors of furniture, right, Brandy?
Yes, 8 floors of furniture that was hardly even used.
And this isn't necessarily a COVID thing, is it?
No, not at all. It's been like this forever. 98% of all contract furniture ends up in the landfill, and less than 2% is properly recycled or even resold.
98%? That's shocking. Brandy, we're on one of the floors here, and this is all the old tenants' furniture. I mean, this looks like it's pretty much brand new.
Yeah, it is. They were only sat in for about 6 months, and this is the human scale Liberty chair.
Good brand.
It's a great brand. They're actually one of the most sustainable brands in the commercial furniture industry, so we really support their mission.
So what would a chair like this retail for?
Brand new, these are going to be about $1,200, but if you buy them on the secondhand market, you can save about 50%.
Really?
Yes.
And there's no plan for any of this?
Oh, there's a plan. Come with me. So this is the plan, Mike.
A dumpster?
Yeah, it's a building worth of office furniture with hundreds, sometimes thousands of items. So you need really time in order to market it properly and find those buyers.
That's really the answer, isn't it? It's just time.
It's time. A little forethought can end a lot of waste.
All right, Eric. Well, meanwhile, over here in the other building, it's kind of mayhem.
Yeah, it's chaos in here. We're under the gun, even though they've known about this for a long time. They've just now given us the authorization to begin. Typically, they're charged about $160,000 to remove the furniture.
You don't charge that?
Well, here's what we did is we were able to sell enough of the furniture to offset the cost of removal, so there's no cost to the customer.
We're just a few miles down the road at Generate's corporate headquarters here in Silicon Valley. And here is where some of the furniture has found a new home. Mark, 85,000 square feet to furnish.
Yeah.
What was your biggest fear?
Well, to be honest with you, Mike, it was satisfying my CEO's champagne taste on the beer budget I was given.
Oh, right. So I guess RESEAT helped with that.
They were enormously helpful. We visited a couple properties here in the Bay Area, and in no time we saw the type of furniture that we were interested in from a brand recognition for the budget that we had.
And timing was good?
Excellent. We were visiting these sites 6 months before the furnishings were needed at the new facility.
And I guess handy that it was down the road, but you would have flown across the country to look at it, I bet.
Oh, absolutely. When you're spending $500,000, what's a couple hours of your time to make sure it's what you want?
Between you and me, Rob, wouldn't this be easier to buy brand new?
You would think so, and traditionally it is, but RESEAT really allowed us to specify a used product at a decimal point difference than buying it brand new.
No way. I mean, this is nice, this boardroom. I mean, it looks like I bought one.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Any CEO in the Valley would be really happy with that.
Yeah, so the whole green argument in all this, where does that rate for you as an architect?
All of us at ArchTech are committed to sustainability, and any opportunity that we have to minimize waste in this industry, it's a no-brainer. It's just low-hanging fruit that is a great way of preventing this from ending up in the dumpster. And I think the beauty of working with RESEAT is they've actually got this concept called RESEAT ID that allows this to be used in the future as well.
Now, Brandy, I am recognizing a lot of this furniture from the old place. I certainly remember this little kind of lovely collaboration area here.
Yeah, it turned out great, didn't it?
Doesn't it? How does all this work behind the scenes?
So RESEAT ID is taking the purchase information, the SIF file that the dealer uses to place the order with the manufacturer. That same file is uploaded to our platform and it automatically creates these RESEAT ID product cards.
Okay, so I mean, there's the stools right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, check, I can see.
That's right. And then if you want to do something with this product, you go down to the bottom right after you've highlighted the item, and it's asking you, how do you want to receipt this product? Do you want to move it, sell it, or donate it?
I tell you what, there's no button there for landfill as one of the choices.
We're avoiding that button.
And you know what else is interesting? You just used RESEAT as a verb. You said, come down here and RESEAT, a little bit like Google something. You can RESEAT the furniture.
You're catching on.
Which project do you like best? Vote for your favorite innovation in the American Standard People's Choice Award. And you have a chance of winning a prize from the luxurious Studio S collection by American Standard. For details and to vote, just scan the QR code on the screen or go to ByDesign.global. Good luck!
It's funny that we live in an age where you can order a pizza with the click of a button and know immediately where it is at any given time. But yet, when it comes to really important things like electricity, we're often left in the dark.
This is an outstanding example of design thinking in practice, empathizing with the users by walking in their shoes, understanding their pain points throughout their journey, and addressing the issues that truly matter to them.
More than 3 million people in New England and New York rely on Avangrid for their power. But what happens when the power goes off? They've reimagined the customer experience so that folks aren't left in the dark about why they're in the dark. All right, so we're here at the Starship Enterprise.
Yes, we are. We're at the heart of our system control center. We've been in this building since the early 70s.
So this is where all of the power is controlled?
Yes, it is. For the state of Maine, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, we are monitoring the electric system for situational awareness.
Okay, I'll just keep my hands behind me so I don't press the button to turn it all off.
Thank you very much.
So you can see here on this grid if there's an outage.
We can, and that's when the system operations center here goes into action. We're trying to make sure that our customers know when the power went out, the estimated time of restoration, when our crews will be on site, and also what the cause of the outage was.
Oh, so it's like how I had a tracking service to know when my jumpsuit was going to come.
It is, and we're trying to mirror that service that many companies are providing for delivery services to their customers.
It sounds like every service should be designed that way.
I agree.
All right, I'm glad you're here. I heard there's a power outage, so let's go get the power on.
Not so fast. That's what we used to do in the past. When there was an outage, I would show up on the scene, I would get in my truck and instantly start working. But now we found out through customer surveys when their power will be restored is almost as important or more important as getting their power back on. So right here, we have a power outage caused by a tree limb. When I look at this job, I think within 30 minutes I can have the power on. I'm going to update the restoration time on my tablet. The customer will be sent a text message or email. We'll go up and fix the job and get the power back on.
Awesome. So it looks like Montana's done pretty good out there, right? The branch is gone. Montana! I was worried for a second you were going to ask me to go up there and fix it for you. How'd it go?
It went well. This was a pretty simple one. I think we were pretty accurate with the estimated time of restoration.
So I've just came from the field talking with Sam on Montana, and I just had to come here to the design lab to hear from the designers themselves about this incredible project.
Yeah, well, we spoke with Sam in Montana too. One of the very first parts, and arguably the most important, of design thinking is actually getting out there and speaking with customers. In this case, that was both the line crew and, of course, the customers who are in their homes or out of their homes when an outage happens.
And the customers, what have you heard from your customers?
One of the most remarkable things we found was, we assumed before the design project that customers' number one priority when they have a power outage is basically to get the power on as quickly as possible. That's actually priority number two behind informing our customers about when the power is expected to come on so they can make decisions about their life in that moment. It's really interesting. The feedback we've had from our customers is, we are now achieving their expectations, which is really number one. Point number two is we need to exceed those expectations. And we've made a great start with this project, and we're really excited to see where we go next.
Power is an essential public service. It powers my cell phone, my hairdryer, but also schools, businesses, hospitals, even life-saving medical equipment. Electricity is hundreds of years old, but the ways that customers are using it and staying informed about it have completely changed. I think it's so incredible that this company was willing to innovate and ask new questions to meet the changing needs of their customers, the ways that they want to know about their power, so that they can continue to use the power in the ways that they need.
This season, we're proud to feature 3 affiliate awards. The Collaborators Award, sponsored by Coca-Cola, will be presented to one project with an outstanding team of designers. The Sustainability Award, sponsored by Ambiente, will be presented to one project that exemplifies sustainable practices. And the Reimagine Award, sponsored by Rode, will be presented to one project with exemplary vision and imagination. Winners will be announced in the final episode of the season.
The Ivenix Infusion system, it's quite a complex product to a very complex challenge in hospital systems.
With these infusion pumps being redesigned for the first time in the last 20 years, it means they can be a lot more intuitive to use so that they can work for the nurse instead of the nurse working for the infusion pump.
If you've ever been in a hospital, chances are you've been connected to an IV pump. They're called smart infusion pumps because they're equipped with software that's designed to prevent harmful medication errors. But research shows that these medication errors are happening anyway. That's a serious problem. So George, how big of a problem is this?
Well, healthcare is getting more complicated, and nurses are under an increasingly heavy load. The problem is that these legacy pumps were developed and designed over 20 years ago.
Wait a second, that's a long time. I mean, we didn't even have smartphones back then.
Well, we started with a specific prototype that helped us to understand whether we could deliver what we wanted from a flow perspective. Then we took all that electronics and we put it into an industrial model that looks like the pump we have today. Finally, we pivoted to human factors testing, bringing in hundreds of users and working them through different scenarios to make sure that our pump was safe and effective.
Yeah, we designed it from the ground up, both in how you interact with it and how the information flows back and forth, but also how it pumps and measures flow as it's delivering to ensure it's accurate. Currently, pumps on the market don't actually measure flow. They just get set up in a certain way and deliver.
That doesn't sound very intuitive, nor does it sound very real-world scenario to me.
Right, it should be intuitive. We did a lot of testing with untrained users to make sure, even if nurses were completely unfamiliar with our system, they could walk in and use it safely.
How costly is all of this?
So we have a system that eliminates the need for annual maintenance and calibration. We also have automatic software downloads so you don't have to round the pumps up and manually put the new software on them. Not only does that simplify the workflow, but it allows us to help the pump evolve over time. So one of the things is how easy it is to load the tubing in. So we have this cassette, so you just drop it in and snap and go.
Can I try?
Yeah.
All right, let's see. I pull this, I take this right out, I put it right back in. Hey, I just did that and I'm not even a doctor.
Yeah, no training either.
It's really tightly sealed. I almost feel like I could throw a bucket of water on this thing and it would be completely fine.
You could. Accidents happen in the hospital. You often get fluid dripping out of these pumps and we want to make sure it's not going to leak in and cause any problems. So it's all sealed. You can just wipe it down and go.
So Sue, what is this experience really like for a nurse?
Well, there's no better time to disrupt infusion therapy than now. The Ivenix pump is truly unique and it's truly innovative. It does the work for the nurse. So the pump doesn't need to be positioned at the level of the patient's heart or the position of the IV bags. This actually takes those steps away from the nurse and lets the pump work for the nurse. So they're no longer seen as that shock absorber between the pump and the patient, but the pump is really doing the work for them.
And I notice even the screen, it kind of just looks like my iPhone. I mean, I could walk right up to it and use it right now.
Well, that's intentional. Let me show you how easy it is to program. I can actually search for my drug by scrolling or typing in. And here we're going to select insulin. It's going to ask for my appropriate concentration. And here's my concentration that's ordered. And my dose rate. Here we'll do 5. And just like that, I'm delivering insulin. So again, it walks you through the infusion, ensuring that they're delivering the drugs most safely and effectively. So it's really an exciting time knowing that we support nurses. So let's get them back to the bedside to put their hands on the patient instead of their hands on operating a medical device.
One of the most important things in design is to spot the need for innovation where no one else saw it. The Ivenix pump is poised to revolutionize the world of infusion technology.
We hope you've enjoyed our look at some of America's most cutting-edge design innovations. Join us next time for more groundbreaking designs on America by Design Innovations. For more information on any of the projects featured in this series and to vote in the American Standard People's Choice Award, go to bydesign.global.